figure out who's going to give the best performance. So I can't wait to get the fighters up here.
All right, we'll turn the stage over to the voice of our Super Fight Smart Cage, Michael C. Williams and Saif Al-Naji.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the PFL Super Fights Battle of the Giants pay-per-view press conference. As we get set to get things underway, we are live all around the world for this, one of the most anticipated fight cards in recent memory. The fight card will include 3 world title fights. The Bellator Middleweight World Championship will be the first of our 3. And then it'll be the PFL Super Fights Women's Featherweight World title. And then, capping off the evening, it will be the Heavyweight PFL Super Fights World title in the battle. It'll be the current lineal heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou as he takes on the 2023 PFL Heavyweight World Champion Ferreira. This event takes place Saturday night in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia right here in Riyadh. As Sean mentioned, don't wait, buy it now. The pay-per-view is available at ESPNplus.com in the U.S. and available at DAZN.com pay-per-view worldwide. And now we turn it over to Saif.
Thank you very much, Michael. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تحية طيبة لكل المشاهدين وأهلا وسهلا فيكم في هذا الحدث الأسطوري PFL Super Fights Battle of the Giants. أكيد حدث بهاي الضخامة وهاي الأهمية لازم يقام في عاصمة الفنون القتالية المختلطة الرياض المملكة العربية السعودية. نحن متواجدين في الميادين في المؤتمر الصحفي، بس يوم السبت راح نشهد 3 ألقاب عالمية على المحك. اللقب الأول هو لقب الوزن المتوسط للبلاتور، اللقب الثاني اللقب للوزن الخفيف للسيدات بين سايبورغ وباتشيكو، واكيد الحدث المنتظر والاهم المين ايفنت بين ذا بريديتور فرانسيس انغانو وذا بروبليما هينان فيريرا. لا تنسوا الطريقه الوحيده اللي بتقدروا تتابعوا هاي الكارد عن طريق شراء الباقه حصريا على ESPN Plus, DAZN وDAZN.
Thank you, Saif. And now, before bringing our first set of fighters to the stage, let's take a closer look at the fight that will open the night's main card.
AJ McKee is phenomenal. This guy is good everywhere. He has grown up as a mixed martial artist.
Paul Hughes looks like he's got that star quality. Oh, tremendous action here. Oh, and he's opened up a big cut.
Comes true. Nice head kick. He is seriously hurt.
Mamma mia! AJ McKee!
What a statement that was.
Collar submits to McKee.
It was all Paul Hughes.
Wow!
That just months ago was one of the most sought-after free agents in MMA, and now already a TKO victory inside the Bellator cage as he's set to make his PFL Super Fights debut at 12-1 as a pro fighting out of Belfast. He's Ireland's own Paul Big News Hughes. We now welcome the former Bellator Featherweight World Champion, now a perfect 4-0 at lightweight, including his PFL Super Fights first round submission victory from earlier this year. Always impressive as a professional at 22-1. He fights out of Long Beach, California, the mercenary, AJ McKee. Their first battle had an epic back and forth and an even more spectacular finish. Let's take a closer look now at the rematch for Bellator's middleweight world title.
He's a very, very dangerous and precise striker. You're never going to see him do anything reckless.
The power of Bellator middleweight champion Johnny Evelyn. Johnny pressures the one to pour it on.
I think I'm one of the best in the world, if not the best. I can do it all.
Oh, that's a nice single leg. Oh!
Now a combination. He's an elbow from Evelyn.
Johnny Evelyn!
This is an edge of your seat kind of fight.
Straight left again from Edwards.
Oh, wow, what an elbow. Fabian Edwards.
That belt's mine. This is staying in South Florida with me.
A guy like Evelyn, and now Edwards on the break with the elbow strike. Edwards.
There's that left hand that we're talking about. Again, he goes down.
Edwards goes down. We're on the ground and pound looking to finish Edwards.
He's out.
Johnny, champion again.
Victorious earlier this year in a #1 contender fight, he's earned his rematch, entering with 13 professional victories, 6 coming by way of first-round finish against just 3 defeats. He fights out of Birmingham, England, the now 2-time title challenger, Fabian the Assassin Edwards. And now presenting the undefeated title holder that many consider to be one of the sport's best already. A PFL Super Fights victory to his credit as a professional. He's 15-0, and he too brings 6 first-round stoppages fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. The defending Bellator middleweight world champion, Johnny Pressure Evelyn. Two of the world's most prolific strikers and finishers will meet in the night's co-main event. Let's take a look now at the fight for the PFL Super Fights Women's Featherweight World Title.
Larissa Pacheco, perhaps the most explosive striker in women's mixed martial arts. The first PFL 2-division champion.
Chris Cyborg has been historically dominant. A ferocious knockout artist with unparalleled finishing ability.
Larissa, she's never fight somebody like me in her career. I think it's going to be a big challenge for her.
Oh, right hand landed there for Pacheco.
Eu acho que o meu jogo é melhor, eu acredito no meu trabalho, eu acredito no que eu faço.
Oh, the right hand! Down goes Blanco!
I'm a complete fighter now. It's very difficult to beat me every time I step in the octagon, and they're getting better and better.
Chris Cyborg remains Bellator featherweight champion!
Não, depois que fechar a gaiola ali, a gente vai ver quem é a melhor lá dentro.
We welcome first the fighter entering with a 10-fight win streak. Overall, she's 23-4 as a professional, totaling 19 finishes en route to becoming the 2-time 2-division PFL World Champion from Marituba, Brazil. This is Larissa Pacheco. And now, the legend, who in a nearly 20-year unparalleled career has collected every major MMA title while delivering 21 knockout performances and building her 27-2 professional record. The reigning Bellator featherweight world champion from Curitiba, Brazil. This is Chris Cyborg. And in the main event of the evening, it will be the Battle of the Giants for the heavyweight PFL Super Fights World title. Let's take a closer look now.
Battle of the Giants, ladies and gentlemen, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Eu me sinto muito confiante. Tenho desenvolvido muito nos últimos anos.
With the championship!
I'm the guy to beat, no question about it. I'm the money maker. My goal right now is not just about like being back in MMA, it's being back in what I love. I always have a purpose. I always look for the reason why I'm doing. I didn't have a chance to fight for my son, man. So I think this is it.
Espero que ele esteja bem preparado, que eu vou estar bem treinado para essa luta. Com certeza, quem colocar a mão primeiro, o outro vai dormir.
I have a problem, but every problem has a solution.
Now, welcome to 2023 PFL Heavyweight World Champion. As a professional, he enters with 13 wins, just 3 defeats, and having finished all but 1 in victory, he brings 11 knockouts, 1 submission from Portugal, Brazil, presenting Ngannou Problema Ferreira. And now the former UFC undisputed heavyweight champion in his much-anticipated MMA return. He makes his PFL debut. He stands at 17-3 with 12 wins by knockout, 4 by submission. Originally hailing from Cameroon, he's fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Francis, the Predator Ngannou. And with the fighters set on the stage and ready, we welcome now the CEO of the Professional Fighters League, Peter Murray.
Welcome to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's been an incredible week as we prepare for the biggest MMA event of the year with the Battle of the Giants. And on stage, the greatest fighters on the planet here on stage will be making MMA history right here in Riyadh. And I'd like to make a special thanks to our partners at the Saudi Ministry of Sport, the Saudi MMA Federation, and our partners at Surge for making this mega event possible. And fans around the world, also thanks to our partners at DAZN worldwide, will experience the Battle of the Giants in ESPN in the U.S., and NBC here throughout the Middle East and Saudi will be broadcasting live the entire event. And, finally, we have an announcement. This is a mega event come October 19, and we're incredibly proud to present it here in the Kingdom. But we're going to have back-to-back mega events. Come November 29th, the PFL 2024 World Championship will return right here to Riyadh, where we'll have 6 championship fights, 6 championship belts on the line, and $6 million, one of the most richest nights in MMA history. So back-to-back mega events distributed worldwide right here from the Kingdom. And so before we turn our attention to the fighters, here on the stage, we know you all want to hear from them. I'm going to turn it to Sean O'Connell and our partners at the Saudi MMA Federation to share some thoughts about what this event means to the sport of MMA here in KSA, and we're very focused on building the ecosystem of combat sports, and we couldn't be prouder to be partners with the Saudi MMA Federation. So thank you once again, and best of luck to our fighters. It's a privilege to have each of you as part of our organization. Thank you.
Looking forward to another trip to Saudi for the PFL Championship, as Pete mentioned. Before we get to questions for the fighters, I'd like to welcome Abdullah Al-Khazaa, CEO of the Saudi MMA Federation. A few remarks from Abdullah.
السيدات والسادة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. سعيدين بتواجدنا هنا، سعيدين باستضافة مثل هذه الفعاليات الكبرى اللي تعود علينا بالنفع جميعا. نشكر من هذا المنبر المتعاونين، وزارة الرياضة معانا الله يعطيهم العافية. بإذن الله أن نقدر نحقق المطلوب مننا كاتحاد، ونحاول إن شاء الله أنه نرفع من المستوى للرياضة بشكل عام في المملكة. مثل استضافة مثل هذه الفعاليات تعود للنظام أجمع أو شامل بالارتقاء له. فسعيدين والله بتواجدنا ونتمنى للمقاتلين التوفيق يا رب. الله يعطيكم العافية وشكرا لكم.
Mr. Abdullah Hazar, CEO of the Saudi MMA Federation, is very excited to be here. He's very excited that Saudi gets to host such a major event like the PFL Super Fights Battle of the Giants. He'd like to thank the Ministry of Sport and the entire team for putting together such a huge and a massive event such as the PFL Super Fight Battle of the Giants. He would like to thank the fighters and wish them the very best of luck, and hopefully they can deliver what they're expected to deliver at the highest standards and at the highest caliber they can.
يعطيكم العافية جميعا.
All right, before we turn questions over to the press, I have a couple questions myself, if the fighters don't mind. I want to start with Paul Hughes. You've accused or hinted at AJ McKee being a little bit boring. How do you make sure this fight doesn't turn out boring?
Can't recall that. AJ, dangerous guy, you know, very, very dangerous guy. 100% have to be on my game on Saturday night.
AJ, he did say, give me AJ's head on a spike, and I'm curious what your reaction to that is.
Sounds good, but Saturday night, all that talking goes out the window.
All right, Fabian, if you don't mind. Last time you squared off against Johnny Eblen, came very close to getting the finish. What do you have to do in this fight to make sure you do get that finish?
I've just got to make sure I don't make any mistakes, you know, and yeah, that's it. Make no mistakes, be on my game, and I'll get my hand raised.
And for Johnny, close but not quite there for Fabian last time. And if that's the #1 bragging right he has coming into this fight, I almost got you. What does it say about the level you're at right now in your career?
What's the #1 bragging right? I can't really hear, so.
Well, almost got you, almost.
Oh, you almost got me with the cut. I mean, it matters what happens in reality. It's not the what ifs. If we all, you know, kind of worked off what ifs, the world would be really, really weird. So it's all about what actually materializes, and I knocked him out last time.
Larissa Pacheco, two-time, two-division PFL champion. Very decorated career already. What would adding a win over Chris Cyborg mean for your legacy and your career?
Bom, como eu já disse, ela é uma lenda do esporte. Eu não estaria aqui se ela não tivesse começado. Isso eu tenho o maior respeito por ela, sempre tive. E uma vitória contra ela vai me colocar em outro nível no esporte.
And Chris, you've had a belt in every organization in the mixed martial arts world except for the PFL. And now, of course, you'll be contending for a PFL Super Fights belt. You told me that this is the beginning of the Legacy Tour. If you can wear this hardware as well, what will it mean for you?
First, I want to say thank you for all the people in Saudi Arabia. I feel very blessed to be here. And, you know, I'm ready. I'm excited for this fight. It's going to start the Legacy Tour. And I have 3 fights left here. I'm telling my fans, come and watch the fights. I'm going to complete a 2-decade fight. And I feel very blessed to be here, 20 years, and going to fight for the belt. It's amazing.
Reina, I know that you're fighting against Francis Ngannou, but your stories have a lot of similarities. Humble beginnings to superstardom, both very dangerous strikers. Do the similarities between you two matter in this fight?
Renan, obviamente você vai lutar contra o Francis, que teve uma história vindo de período, digamos, pobre para chegar onde ele chegou. Você também teve uma história bem similar. Quão similar você acha essa história e como você vê essa luta acontecendo?
Tanto eu quanto o Francis trazemos uma bagagem, né? A gente que veio de baixo, tenho grande respeito e me sinto muito honrado aí em lutar com o homem mais forte do planeta.
Yeah, both of us came from humble beginnings. We had an incredible career to reach where we are right now, and it's a great honor to be fighting one of the strongest men in the world.
Francis, we're all excited about the long-awaited PFL debut. Standing across from you will be a man who is bigger than you, which you don't often see, a man who's just as explosive, has knockout power. Is Reina Ferreira the most dangerous opponent you've faced in a very decorated career?
I would say it's definitely on top of the line, but I think my entire life, my biggest opponent have always been me. And then I managed to go through that big opponent all the time. And on Saturday night, I'm going to give him for his money, so he should get ready.
Quick follow-up on that. Both of you have incredible power, and a lot of times people say, hey, whoever lands first in a fight like this will be the victor. With that in mind, will we see the Francis Ngannou ground game on display?
This MMA fight, so everything will be on display. We get prepared for everything, and yes, everything will be on display. I think on his end too, he might be preparing something because, as I say, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. And then I think he's not underlining my punching power as well.
Reina, I should ask you the same question. Francis has incredible punching power. He's very dangerous on the feet. So are you. Do we see the grappling skill that you've been working on for so many years?
Vocês dois têm incrível striking, vocês dois têm knockout power. Você acha que essa luta pode ir para o chão e vocês têm que demonstrar os seus skills de grappling?
Nós somos lutadores de MMA e estamos prontos para qualquer área que for a luta, tanto eu como o Francis também já tem mostrado aí. Acredito que os fãs têm muito a ganhar com um grande show, dois caras gigantescos aí com um estilo bem parecido se enfrentando. Então estou muito feliz e ansioso para estar ali dentro da jaula com o Francis.
Definitely, we are both complete fighters. We can strike and we can grapple as well. I'm ready to fight wherever the fight goes, and who really wins with that are the fans. So the fans can expect a great fight.
I actually want to ask Dan Hardy something, because we've been talking about all these fights up here on the podium, but you said the one you're most excited about is the co-main event, Larissa Pacheco and Chris Cyborg. Why is that your favorite fight on this card?
I'll be honest, I can find a reason to love every single one of these fights on this card, but I've been a huge fan of Cyborg for her whole career. She's been an ambassador for mixed martial arts in ways that many other fighters could only aspire to. But on the other side, we have Larissa Pacheco, who, in my opinion, is one of the most terrifying fighters that we've ever seen in mixed martial arts. Incredibly well-rounded, aggressive on the feet, great hooking punches as well as great strikes, straight strikes, but the ground game as well. Backs and pull back, gives her the confidence to throw.
I guess we're having some mic issues with Dan's mic, so I promise he gave you a very profound and interesting answer. As we continue here with the press conference, I want to jump off a point that Dan just made about how dangerous both of these women are, and that's going to be one of the many themes of tomorrow night. So, Chris, if you don't mind, there's a lot of similarities between the way Larissa has attained her victories, even her championship victories, and the way that you've risen through this sport. When you fight someone who is like you, does it change your game plan?
Maybe you can say this about we have a lot of similarities beginning my career. You know, I think I improve a lot of my game. I don't have nothing to prove, just improve, do a great fight. If you watch my couple of left fights, I did great. And, you know, I have 5 rounds to finish the fight. Can be stand-up, can be grappling. You know, it's 5 minutes, so I'm ready. I'm excited for this fight. I'm not scared to take a punch. I like violent fight. Everybody who knows me know I love. And let's go. I'm ready.
Before we turn it over to the media, Larissa, last time we saw you was a title fight, and it's been a long layoff. And I know that's not your favorite thing. You like to be active. You've been waiting for this fight for a long time. What does it mean that you're only 2 days away?
Da última vez que a gente viu lutando foi pelo título. Você teve uma grande espera aí até chegar esse momento. Você queria essa luta e chegou o momento agora. Como você se sente estando apenas poucos dias aí para a luta?
Bom, eu estou muito feliz, né? Feliz que a gente conseguiu fechar essa luta. Eu já estava me preparando desde a final do ano passado. E essa luta seria em fevereiro, né? Pelo menos foi o que me prometeram. Mas finalmente está acontecendo agora. Eu estou muito feliz com tudo que está acontecendo. Eu sou uma atleta realizada. De onde eu saí não tinha perspectiva nenhuma de chegar até aqui. Eu cheguei. Eu sinto que não tenho que provar nada para ninguém, além de mim mesma. Então vai ser uma grande alegria estar lá em cima, de novo, fazendo o meu trabalho, fazendo o que eu amo e dando um show para o público.
Yes, definitely. This is the fight I wanted. I've been preparing for a long time for this fight. I come from humble beginnings. I'm really happy about the stage and where I am right now with this fight coming to a conclusion and being booked and just being a couple of days to the fight. I'm super ready and I'm happy to be here and looking forward to it.
All right, with that, we will open the floor to the media. Please state your name, state your affiliation, and your question for the fighter. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, there we go. Tim Wheaton, Low Kick MMA here. Question for Francis Ngannou. Are you looking at a 25-second... Tim Wheaton, Low Kick MMA here. Question for Francis Ngannou. Are you looking at a 25-second knockout or a 25-minute fight? Oh, I think we got the microphone working. Okay, that's a bit better. Thanks for your patience. Tim Wheaton, Low Kick MMA. Question for Francis Ngannou. Are you feeling a 25-second knockout or a full 25-minute fight here?
Am I feeling for a 25-second knockout or a 25-minute? Well, let's just say I'm going to fight strategically, you know, according to how the fight presents itself. In my career, only once I went for a knockout and it didn't work out for me. And the only time that other time that I had a knockout, even in that 25 seconds, it wasn't something that was planned. So let's keep it authentic. I'm not planning a 25 second or whatever. I know I have 25 minutes, so I'm gonna lay my game plan down into that 25 minutes to win the fight.
Awesome stuff. Thank you. And AJ McKee with a win. You must be eyeing up Bellator Gold.
Can you repeat the last part? You said with the win what?
Absolutely. With a win, you must be eyeing up Bellator Gold.
Definitely. You know, my eye is always on the gold. I'm always looking to become a champion. It's been some time since I've worn a belt, so I think it's about that time again.
Hello, El Bucho for MMA Prospect. I got a question from Francis. Champ, you have had no shortage of big fights in life, in MMA, in boxing. Where would you rank this moment, this particular battle, amongst those that you have had in your career?
Where will I rank this fight?
This particular fight, yes.
Well, as for right now, as is the challenge that is ahead of me, is the biggest. You know, he's the. I mean, I have a giant. I'm going to be having a 6'8" guy across the octagon that I'm going to take out. So he's the biggest challenge so far.
Thank you. And another question for Chris Cyborg. Chris, you've fought practically everyone on the MMA scene. What do you think is going to be a new challenge that Larissa can present in this case tomorrow for you? Something that you maybe haven't seen throughout your decorated career. New challenges that Larissa might present for you.
You know, every time somebody steps in the octagon to fight me, for sure they have some challenge to bring for me, because this I take it serious. I train very disciplined. You know, I was ready. I think she's a danger fighter, and we have to have 25 minutes to keep the plan and get the victory.
Thank you. Paul Hughes, amazing drip, man. Love the clothes.
James Mystery here from Red Corner. Just have a question for Francis Ngannou. Francis, you often talk about inspiring the next generation of fighters. What's the most important lesson that you want them to learn from your journey?
I think the only thing to learn is the only thing that I'm learning myself. You know, it's a grinding, it's a everyday battle. Sometimes you know it, sometimes you say it, but there is a moment that you doubt about it. But it's always important to remember that life goes on. And the message would be like, you know, to keep going, stand up. Doesn't matter how many times you fall, you can stand up. And doesn't matter at the end of what happened at the end. Just by you standing up, holding your ground, taking your position, and keep going is a way of winning life. So that would be my take on everything.
Beautiful. Last question from me, slightly different. Is John Jones ducking Tom Aspinall? There you go.
I don't know if John Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall. I think John Jones would be the best to answer that question. But I think John Jones does whatever he wants and fight who he wants. I think he's in the position to claim that.
Francis Kwaku-Afari, talkSPORT. You're heavily involved with PFL Africa. We all remember the Three Kings era of MMA with yourself, Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman. How will your role with PFL Africa help to propel Africa back to the center of the MMA universe?
It's not the Three Kings era. It's not over, bro. It's still on and forever. So you should remember that. How they say Wakanda forever.
I love it, I love it, I love it. And Paul Hughes, you mentioned yesterday when we talked that you expect to finish AJ McKee. He's never tasted defeat via finish in his career. What makes you so confident that you can finish such an established fighter?
Look, I'm a finisher at heart. You know, I've got that killer instinct. I think I've proved that throughout my career. I've got knockouts with both hands. I've got knockouts with elbows, knockouts with knees, and knockouts with head kicks. So I'm prepared for anything. AJ, a fantastic fighter, ultimate respect, but he has not faced anybody like me. He has not faced a young lion, someone who, you know, he's over there with his gold chain and his designer glasses, and fair play to him, he's worked hard for that money. I ain't got that yet. I'm young, I'm hungry, and I foresee a knockout on Saturday night.
Thank you. Francis, this is Samrat Jain from Mumbai, India, Casual Sports Show. By the way, we love you in India, and my friends back home will smash me if I don't sing the song to you. You can join me singing the song too. So here I go. I am a disco dancer.
Dun, 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 dun.
I am a disco dancer.
Dun, 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 dun.
Zindagi mera gaana, main tera deewana. Woo! Let's go, Francis. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
And Francis, is that song a part of your pre-fight routine or your post-match celebrations?
I would say that song is part of my childhood, and I used to listen a lot of Bollywood, to watch a lot of Bollywood movie and song. Also Terry Kasam. I used to love Terry Kasam a lot.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Francis. Do you feel like you're representing, obviously it's an obvious question, do you feel like you're representing a whole continent right now? Because a lot of people have been waiting for you to get back in the MMA ring and get something done. So do you feel like maybe there's a little more pressure considering the time that it's taken? And one more question for Renan also. I want to know, does he feel a certain way because it feels like it's all about Francis and everything centers around him returning? Does it affect his mindset or he just doesn't care about it? My first question is for Francis, actually.
You know, somebody told me like success is also required. Success comes with responsibility, and then you have to face it. It's not a la carte. You don't have to pick someone and let someone aside. You know, you deal with it. Yes, there is a lot of pressure now than then, than that maybe I used to not worry so much. Not too much people counted on me, and I wasn't very worried about what the outcome, who the outcome could affect. You know, but it's also a good thing. It's also a proof of like achievement, of like success, thing that you have done in the right way. And I think if a man is able to like have that kind of influence that we have on people expecting stuff to us, I think it's also a blessing. So yes, it's a responsibility, but I proudly carry that responsibility.
Hey, Donald Corby for Bloody Elbow here. I have a question for Paul Hughes. A lot of people obviously a lot of people are picking AJ for this fight. A lot of people may be dismissing or saying that you're coming in too soon. Has that upset you? Do you want to kind of prove people wrong on Saturday night?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't upset me. I see where people are coming from. You know, you put my record alongside AJ's and the opponents that we've faced, the amount of wins that he has. On paper, I am a huge underdog coming into this fight, but that's what makes it so much more exciting for me. But one thing I would say to the people that say it's too much too soon is, or the people that say that are the people who don't actually know my career and what I've been through to get to this position. This right now is divine timing for me. This right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be. To take this guy out of there on Saturday night jumps me 2-3 steps ahead of this game, and that's unbelievably exciting.
AJ, he talks a lot there about what he's been through, but I wonder, you know, do you feel like maybe it is a bridge too far for Paul, and do you feel like maybe obviously you've been through quite a lot in your career as well?
No, man, I take nothing but respect and give him respect, but, you know, I've been in his shoes. I've been hungry. I've been 12-1, well, 12-0, but same thing, you know, I've been in that position. I've been through hell and back in this life, man, in this fight game, so when it comes to Saturday night, you know, I don't see him standing in my way. I'm going to go in there and do what I'm capable of doing. I'm not focused on anything he's going to do. I'm going to just go in there and do what the mercenary does. Kick ass, take names, and go home.
Jesse Holland, MMA Mania. This question is for Larissa. You already have a victory over Kayla Harrison, who's one of the biggest names in the sport right now, and you'll have an opportunity now to also get a victory over Cyborg. You think beating Cyborg and also beating Harrison puts you among the top names in the sport and perhaps all time?
Com toda certeza, para a gente se tornar uma lenda, a gente tem que vencer de uma lenda, né? Então acredito que sim, vai me colocar em um outro patamar do esporte. A vitória sobre a Kayla me deu uma nova perspectiva, né? As pessoas me olham de uma outra maneira hoje e elas vão me olhar diferente quando eu vencer da Cris.
Definitely. To become a legend, we need to beat a legend. What I've already accomplished, people already treat me different. They already understand where I am at the sport, but definitely a victory over Cyborg will put me in a different stage and a different position in my career.
Thank you. Another question for Johnny. Got a lot of big names on this card, and do you kind of feel like you have an opportunity to go out there and make a name for yourself and kind of steal the show from some of the bigger names here?
Absolutely. Every time I fight, there's always an opportunity to you know, show out and be in the spotlight. But on Saturday, I'm just going to look to do my job and have fun in there, and that's the only thing I like to do is really just focus on myself and having a good time.
Question for Chris. Chris, you've been fighting for so long and in so many promotions, and you've pretty much done everything there is to do in the sport. Can you talk about your motivation for this card and how you keep yourself motivated after so many years in the game?
First thing, I love my job. You know, it's something very blessed to be a fighter. And the opportunity to come to Saudi Arabia, I think, is a different way to girls fight here. So it's really nice, the opportunity. I'm really happy to fight for the 5th title. And I'm very excited for the Legacy Tour. And this has put my fire in my heart. And I love my job. I think it's the main thing.
Question for Hainan. Hainan, with Riyadh hosting so many incredible fights across combat sports. Has Riyadh become the fight capital of the world?
Com certeza, muito interessante essa abertura, né, que a gente está tendo aqui, trazendo grandes lutas, grandes campeões. Me sinto muito honrado e acolhido pelas pessoas daqui. Já é a minha segunda vez e estou muito feliz. Vai ser muito bom, muito interessante esse show e os fãs vão ganhar aí muito com tudo isso.
And the same question to Francis. Oh, sorry.
Yes, definitely. It's great to see the support and that Riyadh and Saudi Arabia has done to provide these incredible opportunities and these amazing events. The hospitality here is incredible. It's my second time here. I love to be here. People treat me really well, and I think it's just a great opportunity for all the fighters to be part of this.
And the same question to Francis. Francis, with Riyadh hosting so many incredible fights, you've been involved in so many of them. Has Riyadh become the fight capital of the world?
I don't know how to rank that, but I know Riyadh is definitely on top of the sport game right now, whether it's fighting or other field. But sport capital, fight capital, I don't know yet.
Hello everybody, my name is Ilya from Ushataika YouTube channel from Russia. My question for Francis Ngannou. 48 years old Fyodor Yemelyanenko said a few months ago that he would like to have a boxing bout against you, Francis. How reasonably would such this fight? And is Fyodor in the top 3 best MMA heavyweights of all time? Thank you.
What's the question, sir, please?
What's the question? What's the question? 48 years old Fyodor Yemelyanenko said a few months ago that he would like to have a boxing match against you. What do you think about it? And second question, is Fyodor in the top 3 best MMA heavyweights of all time? Thank you.
No, I didn't think about it because, first of all, I think they need a promotion to promote a fight, and never had a news from any promoter for that fight. And yes, I definitely think he's in the top 3 of all-time heavyweight in the world.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abdurrahman Al-Shawi. I am from Saudi Arabia with the local media. My first question for Ferreira, what is your strategy to fight in this match? Is it different or the same technique?
Não posso falar que o França está aqui do meu lado, né? Mas com certeza a gente fez um grande trabalho para trazer um grande show aí para a galera, sempre com o mesmo estilo, andando para frente, estilo agressivo e como os fãs gostam.
Well, I cannot say since Francis is just here next to me, but what I can say is that we put on a lot of work. We are well prepared to bring a great show for the fans.
Okay, my second question for Ngannou. Welcome to Saudi Arabia again. How do you feel fighting here in this huge match? As we mentioned before, 6 million on the line. What do you feel about it? With the prize?
What do I feel about what? Fighting in Riyadh or about what?
Yes, about fighting in Riyadh. Last question.
I feel good. I mean, this is my 3rd time in Riyadh, and I've been enjoying the process. You know, sometimes it didn't go my way, but overall, it was always a good show, always a mega show.
Okay, last question. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Abdulaziz Mansour, Sahat Al Arabiya. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Welcome, Francis.
We're happy to see you the third time. You are unlucky in Riyadh in boxing matches. What do you think about your fight on Saturday?
I think my fight is going to be, I mean, I would not say a return to MMA, but it's a big night for me to make a statement again and to prove, to discover myself, and to prove like what I'm made of.
That was the last question from the media. We appreciate everyone who offered a question. Fighters, thank you for your answers as well. We are now going to clear the stage and bring everyone back up to face off, because that's one of the fun things we get to do here at a press conference. Anything surprise you, Dan Hardy?
Just how calm everyone is. I mean, my adrenaline is pumping here. We've got some of the best fighters on the planet on this stage right now. My adrenaline is through the roof, and these guys are all, they're calm and they're respectful. I don't know, I'm excited to get these fights started. I mean, look at these superstars, especially on the end there, Paul Hughes. I've followed this guy's career all the way through from the beginning, and he's sitting up here like he's been here every day this week, right? He's just an absolute pro. This has been incredible. I'm really excited for these fights. I'm very excited for all you guys. Good luck to all of you, and I'm excited for these face-offs.
And compliments to everyone on the style. Everyone looks great up here as well.
They do.
All right, while we clear the stage, take a closer look at what it means to Francis Ngannou to be a champion.
For some reason, I always believed that I was a champion, because being a champion is about your determination. It's about what you do. I give it all, and I always do that. For me, that's my way of being champion.
One more. Yes, sir.
I might have been away for almost 3 years, but I haven't been away from the sport at all.
Don't say I missed my 1-2. Yeah.
At this point of my life, I think I have proven quite a lot to people, to myself. I know I can do it. I have done it so many times. For those who doubt it, I intend to prove them wrong.
Face on top. That's the way. That's the way. Hey. Woo. Good work.
I always like to shut them up, and then to see them just quiet.
All right, to stage our face-offs, we welcome the president of fighter operations in the Professional Fighters League, a legend in his own right, Ray Sefo. I'm going to get out of the way. Our first fight, Paul Hughes, AJ McKee. That fight will open our pay-per-view card. Buy now. ESPN Plus pay-per-view and DAZN pay-per-view. AJ McKee, Paul Hughes. Next up, a rematch. Bellator middleweight gold on the line as Fabian Edwards faces Johnny Eblen. Title rematch. Edwards and Eblen. Buy that pay-per-view. ESPN Plus and DAZN pay-per-view. Our co-main event will feature a new belt, brand new in the hands of Ray Sefo. the PFL Super Fights belt at the Battle of the Giants. This one will be the women's strap. Larissa Pacheco and Chris Cyborg. Two of the hardest hitting women on planet Earth squaring off at the Battle of the Giants in your co-main event. And the reason this event is called Battle of the Giants, your main event matchup, the Problema, Reina Ferreira, and the Predator, Francis Ngannou. Two incredible knockout artists squaring off in your main event. And the only way to see it is on pay-per-view. DAZN pay-per-view, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Battle of the Giants, super fight belts, hardware on the line in your co-main event, in your main event. Dan Hardy, you're right. Everyone stayed calm except us. Your final thoughts as we get going towards the weigh-ins tomorrow and then, of course, the fights on Saturday night.
I just feel like we're going to get some stellar performances from these fighters. I mean, all 8 fighters that we've had on this stage is just a fraction of this card. Even the undercard is stacked. Ibria Bragimov, who we saw on PFL Europe last year, taking on Nacho Campos. As you said, Rafion Stotts on the undercard as well. But I'm excited to see Paul Hughes on such a big stage. I'm excited to see Ngannou back in the small gloves. And honestly, the man that he's got standing in front of him, he might be the best heavyweight on the planet, and we're going to find that out this weekend.
Let's take a look at that early card again, just to refresh your memories, because we haven't seen it in a bit here. 4 great fights leading into our main card. Some challengers, some rising stars, some pretty established veterans you've seen in the Bellator cage or the PFL Smart cage previously. They will get things rolling here at Mayadeen in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on Saturday. That'll be 1:30 Eastern time in the United States. And then your pay-per-view card, only on ESPN Plus pay-per-view or DAZN pay-per-view. The Battle of the Giants, Francis Ngannou, Reina Ferreira in your main event. Chris Cyborg, Larissa Pacheco, Johnny Eblen, and Fabian Edwards in that rematch. And we'll start the action with AJ McKee and Paul Hughes, who, like you said, seems like he's seasoned, seems like he's totally unbothered by this undeniably the biggest pressure situation of his young career. Buy now, exclusively on pay-per-view. The only way that you're going to get to see this all-time great heavyweight matchup between Francis Ngannou and Reina Ferreira is to buy the pay-per-view on ESPN Plus or DAZN. Don't wait till Saturday. Buy now. We got weigh-ins coming your way tomorrow, and we have fights from the Saudi capital on Saturday night. Dan Hardy, Sean O'Connell, we will see you tomorrow for the weigh-ins.
Be on the lookout. Francis Ngannou and Reina Ferreira brace for impact.
Yeah, coming in.
The baddest man on the planet is Francis Ngannou.
Right where I live.
Let's talk about Problema, a Brazilian knockout machine. The most feared heavyweight on the planet.
Coming in.
A clash